Woo! How about them Browns, baby? Yeah, it is a Victory Tuesday edition of the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara. I'm back from Cleveland. What a trip. What a game. What a win. We're going to talk Browns. We're going to give out some dog bones, a couple in the doghouse, and also on the fantasy football side, folks. Ooh, yeah, we got some work to do. There's some injuries. There's some stuff we got to sort out. We'll go under the wire, waiver wire pickups. Big show. Let's go.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara, the sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Shabba-lubba hub.
It's gonna be sick.
There you go, everybody. Woo! How about it? My Victory Monday mug. It is Tuesday, but Victory Monday. I got to admit, I had to rinse it out. There was some dust inside. But it was darn good to have with some coffee. Washed it all out, got some water in it. Now we are ready to go. Guys, I thought we were going to be 0-3. I really did. I thought so before the game. I thought so in the stadium. I thought so when we were trailing. Damn, the football god smiled on us. Andre Schmidt. Never doubted you, Schmitty. Woo! Oh, man. I had a great trip to the Cleveland Whiskey Distillery. How about that? Johanna, Michael, all the guys there had a great tour. And I got some Cleveland whiskey. I got up on my Instagram right now, my stories. You need you guys' help. Let me know which one I should sample first. Cleveland 87, Christmas bourbon, or Bridget May. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Like I said, we got some fantasy football to get to later. Also, DraftKings Best Bet. There's a couple futures that I think we might want to collect on that I looked at the numbers. I feel pretty good about it, okay? But first, make sure you are clicking notifications on. Subscribe. Jump in the chat. Let me know what you think about this big Browns win. And if you got any fantasy football questions, of course, jump in. Hashtag Ask Andy on SickPodBrowns at AndyMC81 and on Instagram at AndyMC Sports. So let's get in on that. Man, I just unbelievable weekend. Started out as we usually do. Johnny's Little Bar right downtown on West 3rd. Happy birthday to Kelly. The birthday today. She got a big birthday win. We're down with Kelly and Donnie. Got to see a few other friends, Grant as well. And my next guest, my Cleveland brother, we got to celebrate beforehand, and now we can celebrate together right now. Matt Florjancic, Cleveland sports writer, award-winning Cleveland sports writer. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well, Andy, and you?
Sure, I'm doing fantastic. Matt, listen, we've been coming down, me and my dad, family trip each year since 2007, okay? The only year we missed was because of 2020 with COVID when they closed the border. The world had to shut down for me not to get to Cleveland that year. So since 2007, Matt, that was our 5th win we've seen in person only.
So you're 5-12.
Yeah. It doesn't go well. That's kind of like a Browns record, sort of.
Yeah,
it's fitting.
Much. It's not great, but you put one in the left-hand column, so it doesn't matter what the rest of them say. This year, it was a success. So let's look at it that way.
The last one, I'll take it. The last one was in 2021 when Myles Garrett inhaled Justin Fields and for the Bears. And before that, it was 2014, New Orleans Saints. Billy Cundiff won it on a last-second field goal, and Johnny Manziel did that trick play with Kyle Shanahan.
The one that was waved off because he was in illegal formation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The highlight of Johnny's
Sounds about
career.
right.
The highlight of Johnny's career was an illegal formation. That's about right. Yeah.
There are so many jokes that just write themselves with that phrase. We won't get into that. We're not looking backward, too far. We're looking backward 2 days at a victory, and it was good to see. And how about Andre Schmidt? You go from the GOAT to practically getting carried off the field. I mean, you talk about a swing over 2 weeks, my gosh, and even 2 days because he was hurt in Friday's practice. Yes. They didn't even know it was going to go, and then he hits a 55-yarder to win it. I mean, kudos to the young man for sticking with it. I mean, those are the kind of stories you dream about writing, and in his case, you dream about living. And it looked pretty dicey there for a second whether his career was going to continue or not. But congratulations to him and all the Browns fans that got to enjoy a victory for the first time in a long, long time. I think it was since last November that this team had won a game. So it's been a long time coming, and they deserved every bit of that. Those fans did.
Yeah, we sure did, buddy. We sure snapped an 8-game losing streak to last year, snapped a 3-17 run as well, and it just felt great. And you mentioned Schmidt. Like I said, Matt, never doubted him, right? On Saturday when we all met up, I was all pro Schmidt, right? Not a problem. Didn't doubt the kid for a second.
I mean, history may be rewriting itself right here. I remember those conversations go a little bit differently, but apparently Andy's hindsight is a little bit sharper than 2020.
That's right. We rewrite the history. Look,
you were looking through whiskey glasses, right?
Well, that is true. I had plenty of that. Listen, Schmidt, until next week, and then we'll see. I'll love you until the next kick, right?
Hey man, you're as good as your next kick. Not even your last one, your next one. So that's life as an NFL kicker, man.
It is.
Well, you know what? NFL kicker.
There's plenty to celebrate. Let's give out some dog bones, maybe a couple in the doghouse. Let's go. All right, well, Matt, I think let's start. Dog bones. Number one, Andre Schmidt.
No question about it. I mean, you hit a 55-yarder. There's some discrepancies there. The team's saying it's the longest walk-off in history, and people are saying, well, what about the 58-yarder that York hit against Carolina a few years back? I think the reason they're calling this one the longest walk-off is because they literally walked it off. There was no time left. And as memory serves me, I think there were a few seconds left in that Carolina game. So that's the discrepancy. But, yeah, you're rooting from 50-plus to win a game 2 weeks after you shanked an extra point and pushed a go-ahead field goal attempt wide to the right. Yeah, you definitely deserve a dog bone, especially after you got hurt in practice and played through it. So kudos to the young man. The special teams has proven remarkably tough this year. Bojorquez looked like he was going to blow out his knee or get a leg broken against the Ravens, and he stayed in the game and played the following week. And then you look at Schmidt, and he's hurt on Friday coming off a disastrous debut, and he boots the game winner. So kudos to the special team guys. And give the credit to Bojorquez as well. Getting a hold down on those kicks is never easy, and you don't want to be the guy that botches the attempt.
Well, that's it, right? And the special teams had been so downtrodden and still room for improvement. Let's not let him totally off the hook. But Bubba had to be smiling ear to ear, man, because the special teams, Matt, finally helped. At best, before we could hope they'd be neutral and not screw stuff up. That was like the best case scenario. They blocked that kick. We were going nuts at section 531. Couldn't believe it. They didn't screw up any, returns. And then Schmidt was perfect. He had been money since that Baltimore game. And Matt, really, if you think of it, we'll give dogs to the whole special teams. If you think of it, yes, he screwed up in the opener. But if we were to look as a whole, me and you before the season, and said, okay, first 3 games, Bengals, Ravens, Packers, you're coming out of it 1-2. Would you take it?
I'd be surprised that you had it. So, yeah, I guess I would. Because I would have thought for sure 0-3 and you're staring 0-5 right in the face coming into that meat grinder in Heinz Field. Or not Heinz Field anymore. It's Acrisure Stadium, I think.
After the Lions game.
Yeah, so that's a tough meat grinder to get through. So I was not overconfident. I wasn't confident at all. And they proved me wrong. They got a W. Now, they got to show that they could do it on the road. And their first road game went about as poorly as you'd expect. So now they've got an opportunity to go into another hostile environment. And they're coming off of a big win. So it's proving time.
Let's get to that Detroit game in a few minutes. A few more dog bones. How about Quinshon Judkins? That dude looked like the real deal. Touchdown, averaging 5.2 a carry, 38 long, had another for 20. Back-to-back games with big chunks. Look, he's going to go a long way in a lot of ways to match up to our guy, Nick Chubb. But all I'll say is he looked Chubb-esque in certain aspects, Matt, where it was like pound it, and then burst through in the fourth. And Judkins did the job.
Yeah, there was a lot of wearing down that needed to happen. That average boosts up quite a bit when you spring some big runs, and we saw Nick Chubb do the same thing. I mean, this is
Yeah.
nothing new for Cleveland. It's AFC North running the football, chip away, chip away, chip away, and then bam, break one. And we saw what Judkins can do at Ohio State, and we're seeing, what he can do. And keep in mind, he really did not have a training camp. He didn't have
No.
much of an off season and missed the first week and has been pretty solid as a player for this team over the first 2 weeks of his career.
Yeah, well, Matt, it really is needed to make this Stefanski offense work. If there's no run, the play action means nothing. So
Sure,
it has
100%.
to be the threat. It has to be the threat. So Judkins, onward and upwards. I think this kid's going to be – I loved it when they drafted him. It looks like he's getting his feet underneath him. Defense. Say what we want about Andrew Berry, Matt, and we have said plenty. But by golly.
I'll still say more.
I'll say more too. But I'll say this. 2 of his best draft picks, arguably his 2 best draft picks, are of the position group this team values the least. Linebacker, JOK, and who's getting a dog bone, Quinshon Judkins. 10 total tackles, a sack, a QB hit, tackle for. This guy is an absolute buzzsaw.
Yeah, and he's on my fantasy team too. And if I checked my lineup ahead of time and noticed that I had another defender out, I might have won my week. But Schlesinger was in my lineup, has been, will be, because that kid can make tackles and he can make plays too. He did not give up on that sack that he had. It was a tough play for him to get to, but he was still able to track down Jordan Love. He has a high motor, nonstop kind of guy, and in my opinion, that's what you need to be a successful linebacker. We've had a lot of guys that could play linebacker that made down the field tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Schlesinger's a guy that makes them at the line of scrimmage and behind it, and that is what the defense needs to be most successful. And
yes.
I will stand on that opinion till pushing up daisies. You have to have a linebacker that can make plays in the backfield.
Has to happen. And you're right, because the linebacker stat is deceiving because, he had 100 tackles. Like, yeah, but he caught him when he was by him, and he gained 5 yards. There's a big difference to what not all tackles are equal, right? And Schlesinger is downhill. We got to give dog bones too, man. How about, look, Grant Delpit. Matt, we were talking. It's like, Delpit better shut his mouth against Derrick Henry. Well, he helped shut him down, and the dude got an interception. All of a sudden, Grant Delpit's getting 9 tackles. He's balling out.
Yeah, Delpit's a good player. He always has been. It was a matter of whether he could stay healthy and stay productive. And he's healthy, and he's showing that he can be productive. He's a nasty guy to have to game plan for. I mean, when you think about it, it is a nasty guy to prepare for, like you said, when he's on. And fortunately for the Browns, he's been on this season more than he has been off.
And we got Myles Garrett, of course, an absolute terror, got a half sack. Malik Collins, 1.5 sacks.
I'm glad you brought him up because getting a sack and a half is a pretty incredible thing. You know that other guys are going to have to eat at the table because Garrett's going to get double teamed, and they might shade some help toward Graham as well. So the other guys got to eat, and they got to make plays. And they did. And that added up to a very uncomfortable day for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Alex Wright got a sack. Mason Graham got a half sack. Schlesinger, we said as well. And that's the beauty of it, Matt. You're right, because in the past it was, okay, you could double Myles, but there was no other threat. Well, now people are actually taking advantage. And when you put in Graham, I saw it several times. He was being double teamed. Collins was able to get home. Schlesinger, now this defense is cooking, and all of a sudden we're going into Detroit, and I'm kind of seeing them in the same light that the Green Bay Packers saw themselves coming into town, where, by the way, Matt, it sounded like Little Lambeau there for a while. There was go, Pack, go throughout the whole stadium. The whole weekend, it was Packers fans. I will say, very nice people. I didn't meet one I didn't like. Very friendly Packers fan. So, kudos, tip of the cap. You're not your squealer or ratbirds pieces of crap. Or even the Bills fans are pretty nasty. Very nice. I got nothing against Green Bay. Good on you. But, Matt, the Detroit Lions beat the Ravens. First of all, thank you. Second of all, short week. Third of all, they're cooking, and everybody's going to be counting the Browns out again, and they got some offensive line trouble. This defense needs to set the tone again in Detroit.
Sure. They have to do it early. They have to do it often. They can't just make one play and think that the Lions are going to fold. That's not Dan Campbell's team.
No, not at all. We got to give one more dog bone. Aiden Huntington. Matt, this guy's a weapon. This dude got a half sack. He was on special teams, and he was a fullback. Forget Travis Hunter. This guy plays three ways. Come on. Huntington's all over the place. He's an absolute weapon. I want more. I want more on offense. This guy's all over.
I think you're going to get more as the season goes on, brother. I think you're going to get that wish, and I think everybody who has to prepare for him is not going to be happy.
Undrafted. We got to give Barry credit again. Undrafted guy, it got it done. Now, where we can give credit, or no credit to Barry, is in the doghouse. And we won 13-10. Hallelujah. We'll take it. But let's not forget, the Browns were shut out for 3 quarters. Matt, the collective offense outside of Quinshon Judkins, a doghouse, including Kevin Stefanski on some play calls on players who were not schemed open a lot. And then several where Flacco just didn't see or have time because of the offensive line injuries. DeJuan Jones out for the year, by the way, to get the ball out. Doghouse to the whole offense in my book.
Yeah, you can't convert a 1st and goal into a touchdown. We don't need to go any further than that. That speaks for itself.
You went 1st and 1 to 1st and 16. And it was like, what? What the hell?
Yep.
Matt,
yeah, you did.
Matt, what are we doing with the offensive tackles? DeJuan Jones out for the year. Jack Conklin is made of glass. Let's hope his elbow gets back. I got Cornelius Lucas and Levinston as the tackles. No wonder Flacco can't get the ball out.
Yeah, there's no question they're thin on the offensive line, and losing DeJuan Jones is, I mean, you're losing a mountain of a human. So you're in deep trouble. It's stacking up for him, and that's going to be tough going forward.
And Batonio played and all that. 40th anniversary of the Dog Pound being celebrated. Hanford Dixon, the 85 team was there. Is phenomenal. Matt, early prediction against the Lions in Detroit.
I'm not liking the matchup. I'd say 20 because of the defense, so I think they'll be in it. I'll say 24-14 Detroit.
Detroit. I don't blame you for going under 20 for the Browns because they literally cannot score.
I don't know that they can get to 20. I don't know that they can. Until they show me they can, I don't know that they can.
That's going to have to be the prediction. Matt, tell people where they can find you. Award-winning Cleveland sports writer on Browns and tons of stuff all over the place.
Sure. On Twitter at Matt Florjancic and on Instagram at MattFlowSports.
Beautiful, buddy. We'll let you get back to work. I know you got a game to call, so we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Go Browns. See you later, bud. There he goes, Matt Florjancic at Matt Florjancic on X, at MattFlowSports on Instagram. Matt calls games at the Baldwin Wallace University level, high school stuff. There's a whole bunch. Writing, of course, on the Browns. He used to work for the Cleveland Browns as well for a spell. So great to have Matt on. This was a game where we had plenty of highlights, but still a lot of questions. Okay. Spectacular and phenomenal. Hey, Randy, how are you, buddy? I gotta get the chat up here. Of course. I forgot to get the chat up. How you doing, pal? How about them Browns? Huh? Not too bad. We are live, by the way. Might have forgot to mention that. You can jump in the chat. You got any fantasy football questions? I'll be getting to those in a minute because, oh boy, there's some problems. There's some problems. Yeah. So I got to ask you guys first this. Went to Cleveland Whiskey, as I always do. They're into the new distillery. Johanna set it up. She is phenomenal. Michael gave the tour. Such a cool spot, and it's only going to be built up more. So it's on Stones Levy Drive, the end of West 3rd. So it's underneath, like, the bridge, right? But they're building the Cavs, Dan Gilbert. It's all part of that huge revitalization project by the river. So they're building the new state-of-the-art Cavs practice facility down there over the next couple years. They're doing everything up. The space is going phenomenal. They're going to have a restaurant, bar. You can go on the tours right now, though, clevelandwhiskey.com. And I put up my Instagram at AndyMC Sports. You guys got to help me. What am I trying first tonight? Is it from Cleveland Whiskey? Bridge and Maine, which is bourbon whiskey finished with toasted white oak. Looking at 45%, 90 proof. And the artwork and design of the Cleveland Whiskey there, it's phenomenal. And what a fun tour. Great, just amazing people. Johanna, Mike, all the Tom, owner Tom, son Andrew. the classic, the Christmas bourbon. Do I open it before Christmas? If you custom labels, you got the dog on. Now, this is last year's label. They're going to have a new labels out with, I think, 3 different designs, different artists. Going to be super cool. So keep an eye out for that. The Christmas bourbon. And then classic Cleveland 87. This is just a good, smooth bourbon finished with an oxygen-enriched, accelerated process, 43.5%. So I need your guys' help. What should I be drinking first tonight? The Bridge in Maine, the Christmas whiskey, or the Cleveland 87? So let me know on that. Real quick on the Detroit game, and we'll be back live this Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on the show live to take your fantasy football questions, tee up Browns Lions. What a fun weekend. Again, Johnny's Little Bar, all that. Did some live hits, did the reaction. Lots of fun. But like guys like Joe Flacco, the time is coming near. I think that we'll be seeing Dylan Gabriel at some point. But look, you keep winning. The factor to me is twofold. Like I said to Matt at the end. One, I was watching closely over the last couple of weeks. The scheme quite often is too complex and receivers aren't open. Now it's up to Stefanski to scheme a guy open. And Isaiah Bond, I've said this for years. Over the middle, quick little dump off option. So Flacco, who has less and less time with the offensive line woes, can get the ball out, but get the ball out to somebody in space. The other side of that is also in the game. There was at least twice Isaiah Bond open downfield, just a Flacco flick of the wrist. Boom, gone. Jerry Jeudy open over the middle. And Flacco, I think, is just feeling the pressure comes so fast, doesn't have time. And that's with trying to have guys help chip and block and all that. Like, it's like, what do you do to be able to counter that? And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon because DeJuan Jones is out for the year, knee surgery. Third year of his career, third year. This season has ended with an injury to the leg and now needs surgery. You need Jack Conklin back, and I think if you pop Cornelius Lucas over at left tackle, you can kind of make it. But you need Conklin back. Come on, man. Bitonio play with a bum back. You got your elbow. I know you got to push it. Come on. Need you against this Lions team. Lions are vulnerable on that offensive line. You got to ground and pound them. So Browns' game plan has to be similar to what it has been. Keep the score low. Defense balls out. The difference was you got a turnover. So try to get an early lead. Try to force them to throw the ball because they're coming with thunder and lightning. You see Dave Montgomery run for 151. Jahmyr Gibbs touchdowns as well. They're going to be pounding that ball and testing our run defense. So we better be ready. Carson Schlesinger, we said the tackles. He's going to be busy. Okay? That's going to be an interesting game. But if the Browns can do that, they'll be in great shape. Ravens are 1-2, right? Come on. Bengals, Jake Browning looked terrible. Steelers, you got Aaron Rodgers. Okay. And then the Ravens got beat. So there's lots of opportunity. But what a fun time in Cleveland. I love it every single year. Just spectacular time. I wish I could be going down every week. But great time. Great food. Awesome. Wink and Lizard, all that good stuff. And fantastic people. And credit to, again, the Packers fans. Class act. Okay. Let's get to some fantasy football time, folks. We got some work to do. Let's go into the wire. Okay, as I'm sure you're aware, if you're a fantasy football player, first-round pick named CeeDee Lamb is injured. 0 fantasy points. Who else felt that? I did. Yeah, that was a stinger. That was one we did not expect. So CeeDee Lamb, how long is he out? Not sure, but he's going to miss some time. So what do we do? What are the options? All right, so what we're looking at is opportunity. So George Pickens is gone. That's your first best bet. Tolbert, who I have on the bench in one of my sleeper leagues, is available currently. He is rostered in, does it say 0%? That's wild. In Yahoo? Well, heck, if I'm reading that right, okay. Well, Jalen Tolbert's going to get a bump up, right? You got, I'm seeing some hype for Turpin. I don't know. Kevontae Turpin had 2. I think he's under Tolbert. Tolbert's the play if you don't have Pickens. Also, who was a big beneficiary of him going out? Tight end, Jake Ferguson. 21.2 fantasy points, 16.8 before. Target share, guys, 12 and 14. Now, he's rostered. His roster's gone up. I told you last week when it was lower, around the 60% mark. Now he's up to 89. So you're probably not going to get him there. But if you got him or you have access to Jake Ferguson in some way, shape, or form, get him. He will be right up there. Then I think it's Pickens, then Tolbert. So Tolbert maybe as a flex. You know, are we loving it? No. Another guy to keep an eye on, Torrey Horton of the Seahawks. Guy was playing punt return, caught a touchdown, second week in a row touchdown. The problem is the volume isn't there. 2 catches in week 2, 3 in week 3. Good enough to pop up and get you some points because the touchdown, really touchdown dependent. Somebody I'd want to get on my roster, but certainly not anybody you would want to be replacing CeeDee Lamb with, right? That's sort of what we have to be looking at here. Now, other wide receiver options. Okay, we're going to take a look. I don't like Calvin Austin III for the Steelers. I know he's popped a little bit here and there as 2 touchdowns. When he didn't have the touchdown, he got 3 points. You got Minnesota coming up. Now, overseas. My top pick for wide receiver outside of the one I said, I told you guys about him last week. Elik Manor. The Tennessee Titans. I told you about him before it was cool. Started, and I got him in a couple leagues myself. Week 1, 7 targets, 2 catches. Next week, 6 and 4 with a touchdown. Last week, 5 and 4 with a touchdown. Still touchdown dependent. The yardage is low, 56 and 38. But yes, he is becoming Cam Ward's favorite target. This is a case where you're desperate. He's going to get the starting share. You're playing a Houston Texans team whose defense was supposed to be good, but that team just looks so bland. I'm fading all Texans across the board. Super disappointed in CJ Stroud. You look at, I was looking at Quinshon Judkins. He's sort of dropped off. Tyquan Thornton for the Chiefs got some love back-to-back weeks as a slide. Like, I don't love it. You're playing Baltimore. You know, he's probably not going to be. I'm fading on Travis Kelce. So Tyquan Thornton at roster in 4% of leagues. It's going to go down quickly, though. So if you get him when Worthy comes back, when Rice comes back, but maybe in the short term, Tyquan Thornton, if you're desperate, is a play because some of those other guys are going to go. So that's a big one. Running back, another situation, people. Okay, we got James Conner gone. Jordan Mason that I told you to pick up, and you probably knew anyway, with Aaron Jones balled out. Kareem Hunt got a bunch of carries. You know, maybe Kareem Hunt as a bit of a flex, but it really needs the touchdowns. He's kind of teasing us. We're really looking at Trey Benson here. That's the big name that you're going to try to get. This is somebody I would spend a lot of fab on. I get the question a lot. Oh, how much of my fab do I spend? This is a case where you want to go heavy because he's going to get the lion's share in Arizona. Okay. There's DeMarcado, who popped a little bit last year. Bam Knight. Michael Carter's on the practice squad. Benson should be it for now. You know, don't blow all the fab, but Trey Benson is going to be the hottest ad as far as running backs go going today. So, and at quarterback, you got Jackson Darden. I don't like it. And Carson Wentz, fugazi. Don't do Parson. I think Jake Browning's going to pop back myself. Get Daniel Jones in your lineup. Spencer Rattler really fell off there. Let's see if we're looking for quarterbacks. Yeah, Mac Jones is a bit banged up too. You know, you got to be careful. Marcus Mariota looked good. And against Atlanta, I might start Marcus Mariota if you're in a pinch, right? Because you're going to be in trouble with Joe Burrow. You want to get away from a Jake Browning. You know, might not be the worst thing. And touchdown for my guy, Ollie Gordon. So those are the pickups for now this week. You got your question specifics in. Hit me up. Hashtag Ask Andy. You can do in the chat. You can pop them on X at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, Instagram at AndyMCSports. Got a DraftKings Futures Awards bet I want to get to you guys, okay? Rookie of the Year. Who's it going to be? Pretty bland. I was thinking about it on the weekend in Cleveland. I was like, usually it's a quarterback. Cam Ward's not doing anything to wow me. Jackson Dart coming in? Yeah, maybe. I don't believe it. So who's the top guy? Well, look, Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State, OHIO, lighting it up with Baker. Mike Evans injured as well. Make sure you get Egbuka into your lineup. At plus 350 is the favorite right now. But Quinshon Judkins, plus 2,000. I put a couple bucks on it. Plus 2,000. The way this guy's cooking through his 2 games, and if that keeps going up and that production keeps going up and he helps and contributes to Browns wins, he could be right there. Plus 2,000 is a really nice play to get in now on Quinshon Judkins. I put a couple bucks on it. Egbuka is the favorite right there. And plus 350 is decent money anyway because it's so wide open still, right? So that's where we're looking at. But remember, hey, week 4 is coming, folks, right? Week 4 in the NFL. It starts now. Every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks. Anytime TD rushes and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6SPORTS. That's code 6SPORTS. Get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
There you go. And remember, folks, on the YouTube, there's a new thing called the hype button. And you get points and stuff. Hype button helps the channel grow. So if you see it down there, if you're watching, recording, or whatever, and you can click the hype button, really appreciate it. Click hype. Hype it up. You know I'm hyped up. Click hype. Click hype again on Sunday. When we see you, go Browns, damn right. And we'll see you Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Subscribe, notifications on to the show. Follow us on X. Get your fantasy football questions in. Hashtag Ask Andy. On X, at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, and at AndyMC Sports. Big thanks to Cleveland sports writer Matt Florjancic, to producer Jimmy, and to all of you. And, of course, go Browns!
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.